Hey guys, it's Ty. 2 Minute Architecture is back, and in this episode, we take a look at one of New York City's most famous icons, the Brooklyn Bridge. 2 Minute Architecture starts right now. When John A. Roebling's masterpiece opened on May 24, 1883, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world, spanning a total length of 5,989 feet. It held that title until the Williamsburg Bridge was completed some 20 years later. Since that time, the bridge has provided safe passage across the East River for pedestrians, bicycles, automobiles, and even trains. Today, the bridge carries about 150,000 vehicles between Manhattan and Brooklyn every day. So who was the man behind the world's eighth wonder? John Augustus Roebling was a pioneer in the construction of the modern suspension bridge. Born in Germany in 1806, he went on to become a student of industrial engineering. At the age of 25, John moved to Butler County, Pennsylvania, and tried his hand at farming. He found this work to be unfulfilling and in 1837 returned to engineering. In 1848, John moved to Trenton, New Jersey and built a large industrial complex to manufacture his wire. This inspired the motto, "Trenton makes, the world takes." During that time, he started work correcting one of the major problems that plagued early suspension bridges, that being they were prone to swaying in high winds and extreme loads. Robeling developed a web truss system that would be placed on the sides of a bridge's roadway, which would increase the stability of the overall structure. In 1851, he built a railroad bridge with a span of 825 feet over the Niagara River. And by 1867, he had constructed the world's longest suspension bridge over the Ohio River in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a span of 1,057 feet. Before the Brooklyn Bridge, the only way to get across the East River was by ferry. In 1867, based on Roebeling's past achievements, the City of New York approved his design for what would become the world's longest suspension bridge. But as construction was about to begin in 1869, Robeling was fatally injured as his foot was crushed by an arriving boat on the docks of the Fulton Ferry. His injured toes were amputated, and because he rejected further medical treatment, he died of tetanus on July 22nd at his home in Brooklyn Heights. After John Roebeling's untimely death, his 32-year-old son Washington took over the role of chief engineer. The first task that needed to be accomplished was the construction of the foundations that would support the bridge's two massive towers. To accomplish this, engineers sank two watertight wood and steel chambers called caissons face down into the river. These chambers, filled with compressed air, created an airlock that allowed workers access to the riverbed to remove mud and rock debris. Laborers known as sandhogs toiled away in excessive heat in an atmosphere at least double that of normal pressure. The deeper the sandhogs descended, the more they began to experience the effects of rapid decompression, known as the bends or caisson sickness. As work continued deep under the East River, workers frequently started suffering from abdominal pains, slurred speech, and severe joint pain. It wasn't long before the symptoms became so severe in some workers that the disease resulted in death. The sandhogs weren't the only ones affected by caisson's disease. Washington Roebling himself was also stricken due to his frequent visits to the caisson steps. This left him permanently incapacitated and confined to his home. With Roebling no longer able to visit the construction site, the day-to-day operations were left to his wife Emily. Although Emily was not an engineer, she was a woman of great character and intellect. Following the instructions of her husband, who kept watching the project from their Brooklyn Heights apartment window, Emily made frequent visits to the construction site, taking care of supply inventories, negotiating contracts, and being liaison to the Board of Trustees. With the caisson structures now complete, construction of the two towers that will anchor the bridge's main cables could begin. While the workers spun the main cables across the towers, a temporary footbridge was also put in place, marking the first time that anyone could walk across the East River. With the 4 main cables in place, the road decking can now be constructed suspended from the main cables. As completion of the bridge approached, a coat of paint was applied to the cables by a team of some very brave and agile men. After 14 years of hard labor and spanning a total of 5,898 feet, the Brooklyn Bridge was finally ready for opening day. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this brief history of the Brooklyn Bridge. If you did, please hit that like button and stick around. I've got a photo montage coming up for you. And if you enjoyed the photography in that montage, please consider supporting this channel by visiting my online store in the link below. And hang out to the very end, I've got a few bonus Brooklyn Bridge facts for you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video and enjoy the rest of the show.